welcome everyone. I hope you guys are having a great day so far. It is rainy here. It's pouring pretty good. I think my plants are pretty happy. It was hot out yesterday, so it's a nice little break. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna start with the numbers. Actually, that's what I'm being told to start with today. For your reads, we'll allow some of these to come forward. You're gonna know if they have special meaning to you. It could be a special date, it could be a phone number, or it could be an address. We also have the month of September coming forward on 5/17. We're gonna keep going and grab some more before we get going with the letters. Whoa, what was that one? 21. 21 came flying out of there, guys. Let's see what else we got going on here. The month of April, 31, 7, 3. And I'm gonna grab a couple more. Whoops. Those ones wanted to come out. And these guys at the back. So we have 13, 1, 22, 20, and the month of December. So you're gonna know if these have special meaning to you guys. Sort of your spirit guide's way of being able to step forward and say, hey, listen up. This might have a little bit more meaning for you than for somebody else. We're going to grab some letters too to go with it. Let's see what we got. So we got V, we got Z, O, K, X, and Q. Do we need more letters? Letters. Yeah, we're going to need a couple more. We're just going to grab a couple more. And then we're going to call her good with these guys. We had this one go sideways, that wanted to come out. The letter I. Alright, so we're going to set those guys aside. We're going to get going. I'm being told the tokens again. So, normally don't use these for oracle cards. I felt like I had to pull them out today, so I'm not entirely sure why. We got 3 of them here, so I'm going to use 3. That's what we used in the past, and we'll see what comes forward. So we have the Lover's Coin. The Empress, and we have the Death Coin. The Death Coin represents that transition. I'm putting them up here, right where I can see them. It represents that transition, closing the door on one chapter and beginning a new one. We're grabbing these guys actually. We're not going to use any of the Oracle decks for this read. We'll just use these guys. So what is this all about? What is your read all about? What is this Death, the Empress, and the Lovers all about? 4 of Wands. The 4 of Wands can represent marriage. It can represent a solid foundation. The 9 of Cups, celebration. Ace of Cups is new beginnings. Ace of Cups is new beginnings. Huh. I'm going to grab a few more. That 9 of Cups can be that wish fulfillment. A lot of times I don't see that in that card in this deck. The image strikes me as something else. We also have the 5 of Pentacles being left out in the cold. The Lover's card, Page of Swords. Oh, somebody's starting fresh. That's what we got. Somebody is starting fresh here. But there's something else going on. I don't know if this is you who's starting fresh after, maybe a toxic relationship or perhaps even a marriage coming to an end. You have someone new coming into your life. But your ex is keeping an eye on you. Your ex is watching. Your ex is not happy about this. It's like they feel like they've been replaced, but they're not there anymore. So I don't know how they can feel like they've been replaced. The 7 of Wands. Yeah, they're pissed off. Why are they so pissed off? It's not their spot anymore. Let's see what we got. 7 of Swords on the Star card. 7 of Swords a lot of times speaks to lies. It speaks to deceit. I just have this... I have this vibe they're going to come back and try and cause trouble. They're going to try to cause trouble. Like, they don't want to see you move on and move forward. They don't want to see you progress into a new relationship. They sure as shit don't want to see you get married to somebody. I don't know if that's even what's happening, if you're engaged or you are getting married. And they just, even if it's just someone where they start to see the potential of that, they don't want that to happen. This person does not want that to happen. Why is this person still lingering in your life? Because I feel like your ex has not gone away. Even after the Tower has come, that death has come into play where there's the transition and you've moved away from each other or parted ways. I still have this distinct impression that they are always kind of in your life or have their nose in your business or are somehow lurking around. Like, I don't know if you just live that close to each other, or you run in the same circles, or you share children and so you have to co-parent. I feel like this person is still up in your business, and that has kind of like never changed. I'm gonna grab a few more cards and see if I can make sense of what's going on with that and why that is, because I can't figure it out right now. I just have that feeling. We have the Justice card too. The shadow side. Shadow side. This applies to your ex. How your ex is feeling. Maybe it is a recent split up and you guys aren't fully legally split yet. Because I'm getting this vibe from that Justice card of like having to go through the court system, having to sign papers, having to split ways, sort of on that legal side of things, like a divorce, having divorce papers signed, having everything separated. You're trying to move on. You are trying to move on. I feel like you've met somebody new. You're trying to move on, and this person is digging their heels in, your ex, and they are stalling the shit out of this process because they don't want to give you any room to move on and to be with somebody new, to marry somebody new. They are definitely actively trying to make trouble for you. The Queen of Wands. See, this is where I feel your energy, in this Queen of Wands. And so, it doesn't necessarily mean you're a woman. This read can be for a man too. The thing that goes with the Queen of Wands, she is someone who exudes this sense of leadership, of sort of coming into her own. She's not afraid to sort of do whatever it is she needs to do to look after herself. She has that confidence. She's attracting attention. I do feel like that definitely ties to having a new romance in your life, that you have attracted a new romance. But you are still attractive, to some degree, to this ex who does not want to let you go. This person, I just keep feeling like they feel like they have a right to not let you move on with your romantic life. Like, they still feel like they have some sort of a place or some sort of a say in all of it. The Moon card, interesting. And the Three of Wands. I get pulled back to that shadow side. This person has not given you up. I'm not sure if you were the one who asked for this separation, if you were the one who asked to dissolve this relationship. Because I keep feeling like the other half of it does not want that to happen. Like, the other half of it has not, their feelings haven't changed, they haven't stopped having feelings for you, or they just don't want the relationship to end for whatever their reason is. They're not ready to move on. They're very much struggling with jealousy, with the fact that you're moving on. The Moon card, the Three of Wands. And like I said, even in this Moon card, I feel it like they are trying to stall. They're trying to stall so that you can't move forward with your journey. They're like an attachment. They're like hanging on here. Eight of Wands. Oh, what do we got here? Eight of Wands. So the Eight of Wands does represent communication. It represents swift change. I do have the Sun card, which speaks of blessings, but I'm very much being made aware of the young figure that's in this Sun card, and that it doesn't mean what it normally means. That this young figure has much to do with the meaning of this card in your read. I do feel like it's speaking to who you're dealing with, like your ex, and sort of like they haven't reached that level of emotional maturity where they're just realizing that, okay, this is over, and by dragging it on, I'm actually hurting myself and keeping myself stuck. You know, it's not just like they're doing this and they're screwing you over and ha ha ha, now they're happy. It's like they're actually stopping their own journey from moving on and moving forward and finding happiness and possibly finding somebody new. They're keeping this situation alive, and this situation is full of tension. It's full of, you know, heartache, definitely on their side. I can feel within your energy in this Queen of Wands this sense of already moving on emotionally, but I know that they haven't yet. So to them, to that ex, this is heartbreak. This is heartbreak. And by dragging their heels, they're actually dragging on a heartbreak situation for themselves, instead of allowing themselves to sever ties and to start moving on. They're sort of just, And it's like they're spider facing. I don't know if you guys watch my reads for a long time. I say that every so often. I stole it from The Office. Michael and his retarded quotes, how he'd mess things up all the times. His one was, instead of she cut off her nose to spite her face, he said she cut off her nose to spider face. This person's spider facing. That's what they're doing. They think that they're getting you, but they're actually getting themselves, because they're keeping themselves stuck in this heartache. The Strength, the Page of Wands, the Page of Pentacles. And I feel like they come at you from like different kind of, I don't know, as like different approaches, because I feel like there are times where they try and talk to you like this Page of Wands, like a friend, like they're being friendly. I don't know if they're trying to coax you back in or just trying to get some kind of dirt. I know there's anger there. I know there's hurt there. I feel like their emotions are all over the fucking place. All over the fucking place. So I'm not sure exactly why this relationship is getting dissolved, but this person definitely has some baggage around that. This person is definitely hung up. They are definitely struggling. 5 of Wands, trying to create conflict, trying to keep this conflict alive, because as long as you are stuck in this conflict with them, you are technically attached to them. And their thing is, they don't want to let you go. Absolutely. That is their biggest thing, is they don't want this to come to an end. They don't want ties to sever. They don't want anybody to go on their merry way. They want to stay attached. They are in this 9 of Swords. And this 9 of Swords is this fear, this anxiety, this depression. I'm not saying you should feel sorry for this person. I'm just saying that this is what's coming through in the cards, so I have to read the cards. This is where they're coming from. This person's having one hell of a rough go, especially if you're already moving on to a new relationship. It's kind of, to them, it's like salt in the wound. Even though that's not what you're meaning to do. You're just moving on with your life. You know, you're just moving on to the next stage. Your feelings for them aren't what they used to be. You're looking to sever ties there. You're looking to move on. But because they are so much stuck in these emotions, to them, it's hurtful. We have the 5 of Cups. They are in the 5 of Cups. They are in the 7 of Swords. This sort of feeling sorry for themselves, trapped in their emotions, trapped in their negative thoughts, trapped in fear, trapped in anxiety, trapped in heartache. Watching sort of this 10 of Pentacles. To them, it feels like the 10 of Pentacles is slipping away, because it was like the two of you were creating a legacy together. So for whatever reason, like I said, the cards aren't even saying. The cards are not telling me why the two of you split. So I don't know what happened between the two of you, because they're not bringing that forward. They're just saying this is what the situation is. But this is how it feels to this person. Like they're kind of being left behind. They're kind of being left out in the cold. They're kind of being discarded for somebody new. The Knight of Wands. And they're struggling to move on and move forward. And they're very much struggling watching you move on and move forward. I tell you that too. And we got the Death card to go with the Death coin. It is transition. It is closing the door on one chapter. It is beginning a new one. The Queen of Cups and the 4 of Swords. Healing. I'm going to tell you what I see in these. And this read is not going to resonate for everyone. And some of you might really hate hearing this. But I have to tell you what the cards say. There's like, I hate to even say it because I know some of you are going to get really pissed off. There's like a need to be a little bit understanding with where they're coming from. And not to pat them on the head and tell them it's okay. But to understand that this is another human being who is struggling with emotions and who is struggling with a situation that they find heartbreaking and that they didn't want to play out the way it's playing out. And I don't know if there's something that you can say to them about, you know, I understand why you might feel the way that you do, but these are my feelings and I need to move on with my life. And as long as we're doing this and we're fighting, it also stops you from moving on with your life. It stops you from finding happiness. Like, I don't know if hearing something like that from you, or just them hearing something like that, would help them to see that, you know, it is over. This situation is over. You know, the Death card, the Death coin has come into play. This is an ending. This is and nothing they can do is going to change that. It is what it is. There needs to be a level of acceptance. And realizing that as long as they're dragging out, it is stopping them from finding happiness. They're stalling themselves on their own journey. They're stalling themselves from finding healing and moving on. I said, we have that Empress coin. That Empress coin speaks to a higher vibrational person. It speaks to somebody who can see beyond themselves, who can see beyond their emotions, who can recognize when sometimes they need to reach out in a way that they might not entirely want to at times, but if they know that they can help somebody else or help somebody find peace or resolve something in a diplomatic way by reaching out in that way, it's somebody who's not afraid to step up and do that too. And this might be your chance to be that Empress, to come into that energy, to take the high road here, and to recognize there's another human being that is suffering through this. You know, everybody experiences things in a different way. Your emotions are at a different place than this person's is. And it might help for you to be able to reach out in a certain way with a certain level of understanding to help this person come to a different conclusion and a different perspective that will help this situation to progress and then conclude so that everybody can move on and move forward. Like I said, I probably lost the vast majority of you there, probably clicked off the video and thought, fuck you, Desiree. But I have to tell you what the cards are telling me. That's my job as a tarot reader. It's to tell you what the cards are telling me. The Ace of Swords does represent truth. The Ten of Swords, this person does feel like, you know, like they feel like they've been betrayed or whatever because you are moving on and moving forward. But like I said, you're just at a different place emotionally. You don't have those same feelings for this person that this person does for you. For you, you need to sever ties and move on. You found someone new you'd like to start up with. You want to move to this new chapter of your life. The Knight of Swords, by coming in like the Knight of Swords and arguing about it or being aggressive about it, and it's the same with this person, it does no good for anybody. It does no good for anybody. It's not just for you, it's for this person too. This person needs to realize that the situation has come to an end, whether they like it or not, and that it's time to accept that ending and to sort of find a way to bring this chapter, because I feel like there's something to do with court here, to bring this to a conclusion and to allow everyone to move forward. Absolutely everyone. Interesting, I got the Magician card right next to the Empress. That Magician card says that you're capable of manifesting whatever you want in your life. You are coming into this Empress energy. I do feel like part of that is in the way that you handle this situation. I do feel like it may have an impact on the results that you get. Most definitely timeline, because I'm being told timeline. So having this come to an end in a reasonable amount of time, you might have a level of control over that in the way that you handle this person. The King of Pentacles, because they're very possessive over you. They're not ready to move on. They don't want this tower to happen. The King of Swords. They don't want to accept the truth. That's what it's coming down to. This person is not ready to accept this as a truth. This is very heartbreaking for this person. They are stalling in every way, shape, and form. This Knight of Cups is an emotional offering, though. It is an emotional offering. I don't feel like it's friendship. I don't feel like it's romance. But I feel like it's something that you can offer to them. And I do feel like it's a communication. It's a way of thinking. It's a perspective that might help them to find their own clarity, to actually finally release. Because this Three of Swords is heartbreak, but it's also separation. You know, if you can communicate to them like an Empress, this might give this person what they need, that perspective that they need to accept the truth and finally allow, these paths to separate. Finally allow these ties to be severed. A conclusion here so that you can get on with your life and they can start dealing with everything and moving on in their own life too. Alrighty guys, that is what the cards had to say for this read. I really hope that this message got to where it was going, because I do see that, someone's trying to move on and somebody's really struggling with this too. It's tough to see. Alrighty guys, I hope you have a great rest of your day. Take care.